I do. So I figure, since this kind of, I guess, ties into what my channel is about, and the fact that the day that this will be posted will be the day of the North Carolina annual statewide tornado drill for all schools across North Carolina. I figured that I would go over some safety information about things such as fire drills, lockdown drills, and of course tornado drills. I know I probably covered this in my high school experiences video, but I figured I'd just do this one, do a separate school emergency drill video. So the first one I want to start off with is fire drills. So in a fire drill, when a fire drill is conducted at a school, you would normally hear the fire alarm go off, and upon activation of the fire alarm, you would instantly respond by getting up and walking to the nearest re-entry floor and going out the nearest exit to the assigned assembly point. But if your assigned assembly point is, if the closest exit to you is blocked off, then you would have to find an alternative exit you have to find an alternative exit route, and if you're at a school that has more than one floor and it has an elevator, then I would suggest that you do not use the elevator to evacuate the building in a fire drill, because just like in a normal fire evacuation, you wouldn't want to use the elevator in case the elevator gets stuck on the exact floor that the fire is in, or in case the fire is literally right there on the cables in the elevator shaft, then those could break with you inside of it, and that could end bad. So just any type of fire emergency, do not use the elevator, use stairs. So yeah, whenever a fire drill is conducted at a school, just get up from your seat, line up at the door, and walk to the nearest exit or exit stairway and leave the building. Now, most schools for fire drills tell you to not talk at all, but the one I went to, I'm not sure they even care if we talk during these things. Anyways, next up is lockdown drills. Now, the lockdown drill is the one where you have to get into a corner of the room that does not have a door or window and sit in that one area, shut off all the lights, close all of the windows and blinds and all that, lock the door, and cover up any tiny windows that are on the classroom door, and just sit there in silence. Now, what the lockdown drill is preparing you for is, in case an intruder were to enter the building, then with you know what, if an intruder were to enter the building and cause harm to someone, then you would want to know the proper location to hide in that situation. So, and if you're in your lockdown jail store intruder hiding spot, then, and you hear a fire alarm get activated, do not respond to that fire alarm unless you know for sure that there is a fire in that exact area, because sometimes an intruder can use the fire alarm to draw people out from their hiding places. So, don't evacuate the building if a fire alarm goes off during a lockdown drill unless you know, when doing a school intruder threat, unless you know if there is an immediate danger, fire danger to your location. And sometimes some places, such as colleges, have this little system for active intruders called Run, Hide, Fight, where you would run as far away from the intruder as you possibly can, and you would find a place to hide from the intruder. And if hiding really isn't an option for you, then you just have to find ways to defend yourself against the intruder. That's where the fight part comes in. If the intruder is there and there's nowhere to hide, just do whatever you can to defend yourself against the intruder. And the next emergency drill for schools is the tornado drill. Now this one, you walk out of whichever you stop what you're doing, you walk to your assigned tornado drill area, like mostly a hallway or a locker room, and you get down in a pose where you're on your knees and you have to cover your head like this. And my school, the schools that I went to, I'm not sure if they really had us in that exact position. I think they just had us sitting up against the walls. They just had us sitting up against the walls for those, because I kind of don't think they'd want to have us in that position for a long time. There were a few times that an actual tornado was coming near the school, and we just sat in the hallways or locker rooms and waited for the all clear, but tornado didn't really exactly come close to the school, so we didn't have to wait very long. And if you're on the second floor when a tornado drill is called to your school, you might want to go down to the first floor, because that's what we did at my high school. Now, earthquake drill, that one's pretty simple. Just get under your desk and hold on to the chair legs while protecting your head at the same time. Quite simple, actually. Now, I did hear something about some schools doing something called a flash flood drill, which I'd assume is where everyone would get to a higher surface, because in a flood, the flood water rises, so you would have to get to higher grounds. But none of the schools I went to ever did a flash flood drill, so I don't think I have to go into too much detail about that. But anyways, I think I covered all of the emergency drills: fire, lockdown, tornado, earthquake, flash flood. So, like I said at the beginning of this video, it'll be posted on the day of the North Carolina annual statewide tornado drill for all schools across North Carolina. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next video.